Hi everyone and welcome to Dramatic Knits. My name is Steve, also known as Dramatic Knits, and today is Wednesday, September 16th, 2020. This is episode 364. If you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back one more episode, and if you're new, hopefully you'll come back and check us out in the future and check out past episodes. You can find our show notes at dramaticknits.com, and you can find the videos on the website there, as well as YouTube and our Ravelry group. And of course, the minute I hit the record button, the dogs decide to bark at something outside the window. What that is, I don't know. Probably some of my creepy neighbors, because I have a lot of neighbors that just like to stand in front of your house and stare at your house and stare down your driveway. And it's a little weird, honestly, but anyway, so how has your past 2 weeks been? Today's been a little bit busy for me. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, just a 6-month checkup, and then I had to go get some blood drawn, which is normal for my type 2 diabetes that I have. So everything seems to be going good according to our discussions. So we'll see what the lab work brings back tomorrow or the next day. And then I got some gas and got some food because I have to fast, and then I went into work and I've been working all day packaging our cast of characters monthly shipment. So all of those are all caught up today, and I got some new acquisitions up on the website, which I'm excited to share with you here towards the end of the show. And then I had to have a business phone call with Square, and now I'm here recording with you. So thanks so much for joining me, and I have a lot of things to show, so come along for the ride, will you? So it's been 2 weeks, and last we spoke, I just dealing with COVID. We were doing a trunk show here or there. We actually went to Starstruck Cat Yarn Studio in Greenwood, Indiana. I said Greenfield on Instagram, and I was corrected. It is Greenwood, Indiana. We did that 2 weekends ago. Susan's the owner there, and she runs a wonderful shop. We had a good time, and it was a good show. So, and it's super easy because it's like 2.5 hours from us, which is a hop, skip, and a jump for us anymore. So that was Friday and Saturday. We were back early Saturday evening. We went to Portillo's, and we're good, and split a sandwich and fries, and but that's always, whenever we go to Indianapolis or that area, we stop in Champaign and go to Portillo's. It's kind of our treat to ourselves. And then other than that, it's been just work, and taking naps in the afternoon usually. Trying to be good with an hour nap. I'm not napping today. I'm recording, so you're welcome. Just kidding. You're actually doing me a favor because I shouldn't be napping every day, but alas. So, other than that, there's really not much else going on. Had to take my mom to the eye doctor, the eye surgeon, last week. She's going to be having cataract surgery on one of her eyes in 2 weeks. So I get to take her in for that, or drive her for that. But other than that, nothing really new or exciting. I really shouldn't be yawning either. But again, no nap. All right, so that's pretty much been my 2 weeks. Let's jump right into what's taking a bow this episode. I have a finished object. They are not blocked because I finished them like 2 nights ago, not last night, but the night before, but I had a feeling they wouldn't be dry if I blocked them. So these are my Building Blocks socks, knit out of Knit Picks Foliage in the Building Blocks colorway. And I used Leading Men Fiber Arts Intermission in the Saffron colorway for the cuff, heel, and toe. I do an afterthought heel, rounded heel and rounded toe. I did intentionally make them match. The orange does not match as well as I thought it did. It would have been a better color to choose, like our papaya colorway, but alas, it's fine. These are for Andy. He tried them on. He said they fit wonderfully. So they're going to get blocked and photos taken, and then he will have a new pair in his drawer. I knit these on size 1 US, which is a 2.25 millimeter needle. I knit on 2 circs, and I enjoy that method. So I do about 10 rounds of a 2x2 ribbing. And that is about it. So these are done. So my next pair of self-striping socks I will show you in the in rehearsal segment. What I am trying to do is work through my oldest self-striping stash forward. Unless I bought multiple skeins of the same dyer, then I'm kind of moving forward and I'll go back and pick up skeins. So this was it, and then I picked my next oldest skein of self-striping, which you'll see in just a little bit. So that's all that I finished, but at least I have a finished object, and it's a pair of socks. So all good in the neighborhood. All right, moving right along. Up next for me, what's performing? So first up, I brought my Kindle Fire that I use for my cross-stitch app, but I brought it and brought up the pattern photos so I can show you, because I realize I don't really edit or show you patterns. So up next for me is the Bead Kerchief by Laura Nelkin, and there's Laura modeling. Let me bring down my brightness. Maybe, there we go. Oh my goodness, this case. So the Bead Kerchief. It takes one skein of Lehman Fiber Arts Showstopper, and then she kits it with her own bead mix as well as beading tools, and it comes with the pattern. She was generous enough to gift me the kit minus the yarn, so I supplied the yarn. I'm doing the Harvest colorway. This is in the Tequila Sunrise colorway. And I've made some decent progress. I am hoping to have this done for next episode. We'll see. I worked on it last night. I got a couple rows done. The rows are getting longer. I had to string some more beads last night. This is being knit on a size 4 US 3.5 millimeter needle. And it is a top-down triangular shawl. So this is our Harvest colorway. This is a skein that Andy dyed because his is more muted. Mine Harvest is more vibrant. And there's the beads in there. Love this bead mix. And this is my first time doing a full-on project with pre-strung beads. And I am really enjoying it. Especially since I can break the yarn and kind of weave in my ends as I go. It was not so much of an issue once I figured out how to do that. And then they will have different beads on that will be placed on the bind-off. So that's going fairly smoothly. My next project is the Colorful Linen Stitch Blanket by Helena Cat. I don't have a picture for this because I'm only following the basic stitch pattern. I even adjusted the numbers. So it calls for DK weight. I am using fingering weight scraps held double, and I am marling them. And I'm using a size H or an 8 hook. And so I'm holding a skein of yarn for 2 rows, but I'm changing every row and alternating skeins. So I'll use A and B for a row, then I drop A, and then I use B and C back, then I drop B, and then I use C and D, and so forth and so on. I am loving this project. I don't have ends woven in the beginning because I thought I was going to do fringe. That is, alas, no longer a go. But I started crocheting in my ends, but I felt like that wasn't even working, so I'm magic knotting because it is what it is. So I am in love with this. It's not your typical like holy crochet, you know, granny square. This is a linen stitch. It's a single stitch linen stitch. And it's a lot of fun. So I cast on, I chained on, 271 stitches. So that's it in half. So it's double that. And you can see the wonderful marling happening. I like it. I like it a lot. So I usually get about 1 row done on that a day. And next up is my Bum Hugger Bolero by Knititude. And I am knitting this for my sister. This is what the finished project will look like. And I picked this yarn up at Plum Tree Yarn Shop. This was a trunk show we did up in Milan, Michigan a couple of months ago, and they had this on clearance. It is Wool and the Gang's Crazy Sexy Wool, which is a super, 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 super bulky single ply wool, and this is in the bronzed olive colorway. I am on my third of 4 balls, so it goes super quickly, and this is being knit on a size 19 US, which is a 15 millimeter needle. And basically you just cast on and knit and do some ribbing, you fold it and seam it. It is a super simple pattern. Do I believe it's worth $6? I don't know about that, but I paid it for it. You can see where I knit in and woven ends right there. It is what it is. I'm not ripping it out. You only get so much yardage in each ball. I didn't want to rip out and go from the beginning again. So what I did was I just dropped one yarn and I wove in one end going one way as I knit, and as I purled back, you can see here this one's a little higher. I wove in that one and purled it in as I went. I did do it for many stitches, but other than that, I mean, it's fine. Just a few stitches are a little loose, which could be blocked out with steam. If I'm not wet blocking this, that's for sure, but it'll be fine. So you just kind of knit until you're almost out of yarn-ish. You do 4 rows of ribbing, and then you fold it and you seam it. And that's it. So that's going. That should be done relatively soon. It's just I don't work on it for long periods of time anymore, just because it is getting heavy and the big needles are tiring on my wrists. The last thing that I'm working on is my Happenings wrap. This is designed out of Leading Men Fiber Arts, and it is a knit-along that we are hosting in the Leading Men Fiber Arts Ravelry group for the months of September, October, and November. It is a huge wrap. That's the back of it. And it is an awesome pattern in which you have 6 different colors, a main color of 150 grams, and 5 contrasting colors of 75 to 100 grams. And you use dye to choose your colors and your pattern. You have an option of 6 different patterns. And so no 2 happening wraps are going to be the same, which is really, really neat. So I showed you my colors last time and I've started it. I am on the second pattern, I believe. There's 18 sections, but 2 pattern repeats in each section. So I have a big project bag. This is from Rick at Whimsy Stitches to house all my yarn. My main color is our Soliloquy base in Vengeance. And so far I've incorporated Can't Quit You on Spotlight. All my contrasting colors are on Spotlight. And this is Look on the Bright Side. So you start by doing a folded hem at the beginning, which was really, it gives stockinette, but it doesn't roll. Because you do a number of rows, you purl a row, which is your folding row, and then you do stockinette, and then you knit the cast on with your live stitches and fold it. A lot of people use this for brims of hats to give a double thick brim without a folded over brim look. So this striped version here was the first pattern repeat that I did. I'm actually showing you the wrong side, I believe. I don't know. Am I? No, I think it's just folded in. Yeah, I think I'm showing you. Anyway, and then it's hard to tell the difference between Can't Quit You and Look on the Bright Side here. So you can barely tell that it's striped. It's more of a fade look, which is really awesome. The nice thing is it's so purled and textured. I've been off on a lot of rows for this particular pattern, and I'm just like, whatever, fudge it. Because it's so just kind of textured, it's not really showing off. especially with these two colors. So not too worried about it particularly there. I think I have a couple more rows and then I'm done with this pattern repeat. And then I just introduced Look on the Bright Side, the yellow with this. So then the next one, you take your main color and look on the bright side. And then you roll the dice again and so on and so forth. So that is that. And that's being knit on a size, I didn't write it down. I think it's a 4, size 4 US. I think it's a 3 and a 4. A 3 for the hem and then a 4 for the body. All right, moving right along in rehearsal. So I did promise you that I would cast on a new pair of self-striping socks. I already have them in my new project bag as it wants to jump out of my hand. This is from Pete Moss Novelties. She does not sell online, so sorry about your luck, Chuck. I got this at the Knitting at the Estate retreat, and it has I try to put a new enamel pin, 1 per bag, as I use them. This is the Trilogy Yarns logo pin. And so my next pair of self-striping socks looks like this. It is from 716 Knit. And she is out of the Buffalo, New York area. And she has the Knit Buffalo yarn truck that always comes to the Zombie Knit Apocalypse. I had purchased this, I believe, online from her when I first heard about her on the Stockinette Zombies. This is the 716, and the HXC means hardcore. That means it's self-striping. This is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, give or take 400 yards in the Deadest Man in Deadonia colorway. And she names a lot of her colorways after Buffy quotes. So it's a slate gray with this kind of speckled copper brown tan stripe. And then I picked up one of our mini skeins in a director's interpretation. It was close to Copper Cloud, but dyed a little with one of the wrong dyes. So, but it'll pick up that copper color in there really nicely, I think. So those are ready to cast on in another day or two. And let's move on to behind the scenes. What am I spinning? I am spinning some Honey Gold Acres Merino in the, man, someone told me how to pronounce it too. Hold on, I gotta look it up now. It's based off of a town in Minnesota, and somebody left a comment, and I don't want to get it wrong. Onamia. Onamia is the name of the town. And I'm working on the first 2 ounces. I'm almost done. I'm going to do a 2-ply fractal spin, which is my normal. But here is the second 2 ounces. Beautiful golds, teals, dark navy blues, some gray blacks. It's a great combo. So that is going. The other leading man is home from the studio. So moving right along, that's my spinning. Nothing really special there. In the spotlight, let's talk about what I've been watching and reading. Basically watching, because I've been doing so much movie and TV watching, it's not even funny. So shows that we finished. We finished the Umbrella Academy Season 2. I give that a thumbs up. It is a fun ride based off of a graphic novel comic book. I can't remember which. This season takes place in 1963, in the week prior to JFK's shooting. And in season 1, they narrowly escape the apocalypse that they caused by jumping back in time, and they don't know where they're going, so they end up, as you find out, in the 1960s, and they soon realize that they have caused the apocalypse again, but they need to try to avoid that. So, really good, enjoyed it, got a lot more backstories into the characters and things of that nature. So, I finished Supernatural Season 8. I'm moving into Season 9. I'm slowing down a little bit with it because when there's 15 seasons, it's like very formulaic writing, and it's the same battles happening between the brothers, you know, emotionally, while physical battles with different monsters. And one season it's demons, one season it's angels, one season it's Leviathan. I loved the first couple seasons when there was different monsters, and I feel like I wish they would go a little bit more that route, but now they have a secret lair, and still enjoy it though. We finished RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars season 1. Little disappointing in the fact that there was only 6 episodes, and the finale, as the regular RuPaul has now gone to like a big finale. This was just a, you're the winner. But I did think that their final competition was the hardest that has ever been on Drag Race, and definitely felt like 2 of them were not for the running, and the 2 that made it to the final 2 were meant to be there. Felt bad for the person who came up and runner-up, but is what it is. We only have 1 season left of All-Stars that we can watch on Hulu. So they only have seasons 1 and 2 of All-Stars and seasons 1 through 6 of regular. So if anybody knows where I can get for free streaming any of the other seasons, let me know. All right, movies that I've watched. I've watched a lot of movies. So I watched Hurricane Bianca. This was on Hulu. This stars RuPaul's Drag Race winner from season 6. Yeah, 6. Bianca Del Rio, who is just hilarious. I was a little disappointed with the movie because it was very, very B-rated, very low budget, which is fine. But I feel like Bianca is so good at immediate situational comedy, and when it's scripted, it's not as truthful. It doesn't read as funny. So, but basically the gist of the movie is this science teacher is trying to find a job, and he is essentially working for Teach for America, and they're like, do you want to go to rural Texas? And he's like, sure, I'll go if I can teach. And they soon realize he's gay and fire him. So through meeting his fairy drag mother, he decides to go back the next day and as Bianca Del Rio and try to get the job, which he does, and become Teacher of the Year. So it's a cute movie. On Netflix, I watched One Bedroom, or 1BR. This is a suspenseful movie. It is about a young girl who moves to Los Angeles dealing with mental health issues, and she is trying to get away from her father, who is not a great father, and she's looking for an apartment, and she thinks she finds this wonderful community in this gated apartment complex, and after she moves in, she realizes things aren't as good as they seem, and that's where I'll leave it at. So really enjoyed that for a fun, you probably won't recognize anybody in the movie, but it was a good suspenseful movie. I watched #Alive, which just came out a couple of days ago. That is a zombie movie. It is a foreign film, and it is with subtitles, but luckily there's not a whole lot of talking, so great to knit to. It is about 2 young teens trying to survive in their apartment complex during a zombie apocalypse, so take that for what you will. It was nothing great, but I enjoyed the ride. We watched Project Power, again a Netflix film. This stars Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I really enjoyed it. Again, kind of a summer blockbuster action in which people can get superpowers by taking a pill that's on the black market, but it only lasts for 5 minutes, and you don't know what those superpowers are. They come from like inherent animal genes within ourselves. So yeah, it was all right. And then I did a double feature the other night, and I watched The Babysitter and The Babysitter Killer Queen on Netflix, both Netflix movies. I think Netflix, yeah. And The Babysitter came out 3 years ago, and it basically was, you know, a comedy horror film about a babysitter who is trying to release a demon and bring about a demon pact in order to get benefits out of it. I don't know. And there's a bunch of teenagers there that, you know about this, and so they decide to sacrifice somebody, and they need the blood of the innocent as well, who's the kid that she's babysitting. And so the kid finds out, and he's slowly but surely trying to survive and take care of himself. So it's very funny, very cute, very cheesy, and very campy. The second one, however, that just came out this week is not so good. The storyline and the editing and everything is, they tried, but basically the same just 3 years later. But it was cute to watch them back to back and not have to wait. You know, it's not like I watched it 3 years ago and then had to remember. So maybe I would have enjoyed the second one better, but my sister said she watched the original years ago and then she watched the second one. She agreed with me that the second one was not as good. So that's all that I watched. Check out those movies if you're interested. The link be linked into the show notes, which can be found at dramaticnets.com. And let's move along to stash enhancement, shall we? Because yes, I've been COVID bad. But it is what it is. So while we were at Starstruck Cat Yarn Studio, I'm always perusing when I'm doing a trunk show and, you know, maybe there's a lull in the crowd. I'm always walking shops and looking at their yarns and trying to pair projects with yarns and this and that. So I picked up 2 skeins of Sidar Jewel Spun, which is a long color changing wool. This is an Aran weight wool in 2 different colors. This is Setting Sun 843, and this is Midnight Fjords, which is 847. And I'm going to do a chevron baby blanket alternating these 2. This is 100% acrylic. These are both 200 grams. And you get like, I forget how much is in it. You get a decent amount of yardage. I forget. 546 yards. So I have just shy of 1,100 yards here to do the baby blanket that I'm looking at, which is the free pattern on the Yarnspirations website. When I get around to knitting it, I'll share that pattern with you. But I basically was just searching Aran weight patterns and was looking through things that would be good for this. Simple enough to show off the color changing and alternating the 2 skeins. Then I received 2 skeins of Barnyard Knits. There's the other one. I was like, I lost the other one. Now, before I show you this, I followed Barnyard Knit several months ago on Instagram. I love her aesthetic. I love her Instagram. And she does this really cool thing, or at least she did. She didn't do it this month. Where she has a new colorway every month, like we do our new colorway, that will be repeated in the future, but she puts it up on her sock base and her DK weight base, cheaper than normal for a flat $20. You can pre-order the yarn, and you pre-order it and it ships by the 15th of the following month. She also then has a unnamed new colorway that will never be repeated, and you can get that exclusive colorway for that month only, but that is upcharged from her normal price. So you're paying for that exclusivity. That doesn't interest me, but her colorways of the month do. And so I decided on the last day of July to order her colorway of the month, which was called Cornflower. And it looks like this. And she does beautiful speckling. She's always got neutrals, but they're not like over the top speckling. And I don't have plans for these yarns. I was like, oh, I'll just collect them and maybe I'll do like fades or multiple projects, you know, and things like that, or put some of our own yarn with it and things like that as I collect them. So then the next day after I ordered cornflower, I knew that that would ship by like August 15th. So then August 1st, I ordered August colorway, which is Time Traveler, which looks like this. It's got pops of black, silver, copper, and like a chartreuse sour apple. So these are the two together. And this one was supposed to ship by 9/15. So this one was originally supposed to ship by August 15th. By towards the end of August, the last few days of August, I emailed her because I went on her Instagram and nothing had shipped. I didn't get a notice, and I was asking her where, you know, when to expect my order, that it was about 9 days after the deadline. And then never heard anything back. Went on her Instagram and she said that she was behind on her colorway of the month and that she closed pre-orders quicker than she anticipated and that she was running behind, but she was hoping to have them out with the beginning of, you know, in a couple of days, the beginning of the next week. I was like, all right, that's fine. Her Instagram also says no direct messaging, so don't message her on Instagram. That's fine. I would prefer people not to direct message me on Instagram, but I did. You know, I had sent her an email, but she didn't respond. So after about another week that it didn't show up, I did email her a little bluntly, and I just said, I don't mind waiting, but I do like to hear back when I inquire about an order that is now going on 3 weeks late as to, you know, when to expect it. And she sent a one-sentence reply stating she was hoping by the following week, which is already a week later than what she had originally said. Again, I don't mind waiting. I understand things happen. Just be clear in your communication. Have good customer service. That's all that I ask for. This actually shipped early. I got this shipped like on the 1st or 2nd of September. I got this, I don't know, by like the 5th or 6th. So beforehand. But this one, I didn't get till several days after this. This was supposed to be in August, but. So initially, I would say not my best interaction with a small business indie dyer, but I do really love her colors. Will that stop me from trying to sign up for her colorway of the month again? Probably not. She did not do a colorway for September. I think she was so far behind. I wish she would. I wish she would just maybe, you know, maybe set a quantity that she could do. That way I'd love to collect them. I really love her dye aesthetic, and her colors really scream my aesthetic. So, but she's doing other pre-orders and things of that nature. I thought it'd be fun to collect one every month. So, but I do have 2 skeins of Barnyard Knits. And then, and that should be blamed on Ray and Kevin of the Needles at the Ready podcast, because I'm always looking and clicking on their links in their show notes. I also clicked on one of their dyers that they like, which is Trilogy Yarns. I ordered a kit for a lattice stitch cowl, but all I got was the yarn and a note saying that the pattern was free online now. So, but this is Trilogy Yarns in the Glamorous base, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards in the Sexy Cowboy colorway. I just thought it was a little outside my wheelhouse, and I really liked the colorway name. So I plan to knit that cowl. It takes 1 skein, and it's like a slip stitch, lattice stitch pattern. But I wanted to try out her yarns. So that's that. Those are my new stash enhancements. Do I have more coming? Did I join a club? It's COVID, y'all. That's what I'm saying. I don't get my Fiber Festival highs of shopping. Anyway, let's move right along. This week, we are giving away a skein of Round Table yarns. I will say up front, I am moving the giveaway entries back into Ravelry because, to be honest with you, the past couple of months, I've done them on YouTube and nobody contacts me. I have shipped one prize off of the YouTube winnings, and that is because I knew that person personally and had their address. Other than that, no one has emailed me to claim their prize from YouTube comment winners. And I've even replied to their comments on YouTube. So we're going to go back to Ravelry. I will try to link it in the drop down on YouTube here so you can click directly over to that thread to enter. But this week we are going to give away a skein of Round Table yarns. Karen is a wonderful dyer out of Texas. I've had the pleasure of meeting her several times in Colorado, in Texas. And this is a discontinued base of hers. This is her England base, which is 80% superwash Blueface Leicester, 20% bamboo, fingering weight 438 yards. This was her April 2016 Yarn Club colorway called Rightwise King of All England. And it's a beautiful emerald green. This is generously donated from an anonymous benefactor of the podcast. And so to be eligible to win this, you need to go over to the Ravelry group to the appropriate thread, which again will be linked in the show notes on YouTube. And you need to be a member of the Ravelry group to be eligible to win. And you need to answer the prompt. This episode's prompt is, what invention doesn't get a lot of love, but has greatly improved the world? So a little invention called, but it's helped everybody, right? Right? Yeah, I don't know. You let me know. I'll think about it and answer next week. I always love reading what you guys say. So, all right, let's move right along into a round of applause. Last episode, we were giving away a skein of Knit Pick Stroll Fingering in the Sweetie hand-painted colorway, which looks like this. This contest was run on YouTube. I used a random YouTube comment picker to choose the winner. The prompt was, what celebrity do you like to follow, whether that's on social media or just in general? And the picker picked Heather Cather. So congratulations, Heather. If you would please email me at leadingmenfiberarts@gmail.com and let me know you won the Knit Picks Sweetie yarn. Heather put, I follow Kyle Richards from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because she loves her dogs and has 2 German Shepherds. My fave. I do like Kyle. I feel like of all the housewives, Kyle is more down to earth than a lot of them. But I also don't follow as much housewives as I used to. Yeah. So it was interesting reading who you guys follow and don't follow, and of course a lot of knitting people. But so congratulations, Heather. Again, please email me. I would love to get the prize out to you as soon as I hear from you. Just remember to enter anything you finish in the month of September into our September 2020 Race to the Finished Object contest. We will have a wonderful prize from our prize pool. No featured designer this month, but we do have a new featured designer slated for October. And I am in discussions with her right now as to the length that she will be featured. But that is going to be Boston Jen of the Downseller Studio podcast. It's an audio podcast. And I've had the pleasure of meeting Jen several times at Rhinebeck over the last 2 years. So she's graciously signed on to do October. And we're in talks of doing November and December as well, which I think would be nice because it'll finish out the year. And we will be doing a knit along in the Dramatic Knits group for any of her patterns starting in October as well. So you can start planning those here in the next coming few weeks. And then we have another designer, local, that is going to be signing on for the beginning of 2021. So again, I have more emails to answer there, but stay tuned for that. Let's move on to Center Stage, all things Leading Men Fiber Arts. I have so many cool things to show you. You do not want to skip. But if you do, alas, I'll see you in 2 weeks. But I want to start off by showing you our October 2020 colorway of the month. So I decided that I wanted to make a Halloween themed-ish colorway, and that it was going to be a little grungy, a little dirty, a little stanky kind of a colorway, because to be honest with you, this year has just stunk, right? It is a tuna fish casserole mixed with possum, mixed with a dumpster on fire, mixed with, you know, whatever else you can think of that smells horrible. I know I'm really talking up this colorway, right? But I'm super excited with it because it's kind of one of those that I look at and I'm like, I kind of like it. So let me dig here. I put it in the bottom of this bag. So it's called Smell My Feet, right? I didn't want to do Trick or Treat. That's overdone. So I'm doing Smell My Feet. And here it is on worsted. So this takes all the colors from our Fright Night colorway, which are bright neons of orange, like a glow stick, green, yellow, and a vibrant purple neons. And then I do gray and silver. And I did my massage speckle and I did more gray and silver. So it's kind of this grungy with these hidden neons behind it. So I think it's not going to scream Halloween, but you know it's there. So this is it on worsted. We will have it on all of our yarn bases, and I also will have sock sets. And I'm thinking for this month, because of the fun, vibrant neon colors, you will be able to choose whether you want the orange, the radioactive green, or the people eater purple for your cuff, heel, and toe. So that is Smell My Feet, which is October's colorway of the month. I'll be excited to show you this knit up next episode, because I will be recording on the last day of September next. So moving right along, let's talk about new items. So first up, let's talk about some gradients in the shop. First up, we have a restock of a gradient that usually sells pretty quickly. This is our Floral Spell Gradient. So it goes from these two lighter colors into some greens, into these warmer kind of mauve and aubergine colors. And then a brand new gradient set that I did based off of our Foliage colorway is called Foliage. So these are all the colors minus the red that are represented in our Foliage variegated colorway, but I needed a 6th color, so I decided, why not those vibrant red leaves that, you see on the ground. So this is the Foliage Gradient. I think this just screams fall. It's fall, y'all. Right? September 1st, and everybody's like, let's break out the sweaters and the sweatshirts and the pumpkin spice everything. I've never had a pumpkin spice anything because I don't like pumpkin. And I know that pumpkin spice doesn't taste like pumpkin. It's all the spices in pumpkin pie. I don't like pumpkin pie either. I don't need to jump on that bandwagon, right? I don't need to be #basic. I'm #basic about so many other things. I don't need to be on the PSL. All right, let's keep digging in my bag of goodies. All right, I got a bunch of different pom-poms in, so I'm just gonna start showing them to you. I got 3 kinds that look like this. These are 6-inch round pom-poms with snaps. I love the snap closure because I figure they're the easiest to take on and off for washing. These ones retail for $7. This is white with colored tips of blue, dark navy blue. And then we also have yellow. And then we also have orange. And I shake these out when I stock them and tag them, but as with all pom-poms, these are faux fur. They do really well with a blow dryer to get them to fluff and actually look as great as they can. Then we sold out of the first batch of these that I had to order another batch. These are the Toasted Rainbow color that I'm calling. This one actually has the full rainbow. A lot of them have pinks and purples, but some do have the full rainbow. It is just kind of the luck of the draw as to what you get if you order online, and what I have in stock. This one I'm calling Berries and Cream. It's like a very soft ballerina. Oh, that's blowing out. It's a soft ballerina pink with highlights of purple and turquoise. And again, all these are the 6-inch. And then this one I'm calling Neapolitan. This one's like a long fur, again, 6 inches, but it is white with gray tips, and then this kind of khaki, and then pink. So it reminds me of Neapolitan ice cream. And then this next batch, when I ordered the Toasted Rainbow, I got these ones in. These ones are smaller, so these ones are only 5. These ones are called Troll Hair because 1, they're rainbow, and 2, their hair is kind of a hot mess. These do look really good flipped out with a hairdryer. They showed them online flipped out. I'm not flipping them to ship them to you to then have to refliff them, but it's like a white base with highlighter neon highlights. These are 4.3 inches in diameter, so they're a little bit smaller. Great for kids' hats. Great for, you know, if you're doing like tassels or things hanging from a hat. So these ones are 5. The other ones are 7. And then I also have brought in a color line of seed beads. So I've got all these different, these are just the beginnings. I haven't finished packaging them all, but I got a whole lot of black shades of seed beads. So they're all silver, gray, black, iridescent, matte, different shades of black in size 6 seed beads. So they'll fit fingering and lace weight yarns. As I'm doing beading, I want to kind of bring in those options and things like that. So this is color number 129. They don't have any fancy names. This is color 911. These are all packaged in 50-gram bags. They are $5 a piece. And I do have anywhere from 2 to 5 bags of each color. This is color 152. This one I just packaged today. This is 409. Those are kind of black and rainbow. I have another one that's a little bit different like that. These ones are clear. They're like copper lined with black clear over it. And this is color 38. According to my conversions online, size 6 seed beads run on average 15 beads to a gram. So at 50 grams, you're getting approximately 750 beads per package. That's again, approximate. So those are beads. So I've shown you Pom-Poms, beads, gradients, and then I did a live today on Instagram showing our brand new items to the shop, which are a line of leather bags made in the USA from Kiko, which are a pair of brothers based out of Los Angeles. They are, again, US made, handmade, and I have 4 different styles of bags. One I know I'm going to carry. I love them. And then I brought in 3 other ones to try and see how they do. These are a bit of a pricier luxury item because they are 100% leather or leather and canvas. But this one is the Classy Tote, I believe. I want to say this one's the Classy Tote. And dimensions and everything and great pictures that were modeled from the company are on my website. These are under project bags. Most of them you can fit your arm through, but they're going to sit right under your arm. They're not like going to hang down. This one is, it's got the raw edge, and then it's got the raw leather on the inside. And this one does have a pocket. A small pocket on the inside, great for storing your phone, things of that nature. It's this beautiful kind of caramel color. and then grommets with a varying shade of leather handles. Then, next up, these are the Pch Totes. So this one's more of a matte leather. It has a small pocket on the inside, or on the outside, I'm sorry. This is the only pocket. And then it has the contrasting bands stitched on. But what I do like about these is they are hand-stitched magnets, so the bag will automatically just close on its own. And this one, unlike the first one, does have a flat bottom. 3 of the 4 do have this flat bottom feature, which is really nice because it extends out. You can see the beautiful stitching there. I kept walking by, I have it on a rack, a clothing rack, all the new bags, and I'm like, oh, it smells like leather over here. If you're vegan, these are not vegan, I'm sorry, but my sister is an extreme cow lover and she wasn't very happy when we got these in, but you know. This is the raw Edge Tote, and online it looks much darker than this. It is darker, it's a more mocha leather, but when we got in, I should say we have one of the first totes. We have 2 of these in stock right now. One of these raw Edge Totes. This is all the same color. This one has no pockets, nothing. It's just a basic tote bag, but it does have, again, the flat bottom. It is a little bit wider than the other bags. And again, the stitched on handles. And then last but not least, this is the bag that drew me to this company to check out their brand. This is the Boyfriend Canvas Tote. It is a mixture of canvas and leather. This is the olive and brown. They also do a black on black, which I will be ordering next time I order from them. So this is the best bang for your buck. The other bags are on the pricier side for what you get. They retail anywhere from $125 to $150. This one is $95, but it's the most bang for your buck. So this is canvas, not wax, just canvas, with a leather bottom, that again, flat bottom. You have 2 grommeted handles. The handles do not come off on this. And then you do have a messenger bag adjustable crossbody strap that can be taken off. And then you have a wonderful, very cool gender neutral lining on the inside. And then it has 2 pockets on this side, which this fabric is almost like a waterproof. I don't know if it's waterproof, but it's kind of that waterproof feeling fabric. This can store, notions pouches, your electronics, things of that nature. And then on the other side, there's a larger pocket that's with a zipper. And that pocket is lined as well. So I'm tempted to take one of these, depending on how quickly they sell. It does zipper at the top too, so you can close the bag. Again, this is the Boyfriend Tote. I have 2 of these in stock right now, and they are $95. So great price point for what you're getting. We will also be bringing back the rehearsal bags. Those are not going away. Those are the wax canvas totes designed by myself, made by Anne at the Silver Shed USA. We were just out of stock after the birthday sale, and we will be bringing in smaller quantities of those, but we'll be having our full range of colors and be ordering those as we sell them. So those are new items in the shop. If you're interested, check them out. Don't forget you can join our Cast of Characters mini skein yarn club at any time. You can sign up via our homepage at leadingmenfiberarts.com. We're always accepting new submissions. You can cancel at any time. If you cancel, you can always rejoin. It's very simple to do. All we ask is that you email and let us know, preferably before your shipment is ready to go. But if your invoices aren't paid for 2 months, we then just automatically cancel you and you can sign up again when you're ready. There is also the option to sign on for the Katrinkles Stitch Marker of the Month set with your order, and you get that all for free shipping if you do the club. We do have our loyalty program going on, so if you haven't signed on, when you check out with us online, you can sign up to become a loyalty member. All it takes is your phone number, and you get loyalty points, which is essentially earning points to get 10% off or 10% back on future purchases. We have 2 knit-alongs going on in our Ravelry group right now for Leading Men Fiber Arts. The Irresistible Poncho, we have one person joining us. She's doing the capelet version, which you can absolutely do. There's a capelet and a full poncho version. And so if no one else joins, she gets the prize. But you can probably do the capelet. That is going the months of August, September, and October. And then we have the Happenings wrap knit along going on, and I talked about that previously, so check out the threads. There's a thread for each knit along. As always, our knit alongs, we do have coupon codes to get 15% off of yarn for the knit alongs, as well as usually coupon codes to get the patterns at a discounted rate as well. So stop on over to the Leading Men Fiber Arts Ravelry group to get that information. Upcoming shows, not this weekend, but next weekend, we will be doing a trunk show at Cream City Yarns in, I forget where that's up. It's up in Wisconsin. I forget the town. I'm sorry. And I'd rather not misspeak. We did a shipped trunk show with them at the beginning of COVID, which actually went really well. So we are going to be up at their shop Friday afternoon from about 2 to 6, maybe a little later. And then we will be at their shop from 12 to 4 on Saturday. They have an open knit, a drive-in knit night where you kind of knit, park, bring a lawn chair and sit socially distanced in their parking lot on Friday night starting at 4 p.m., though they may start early with us being there. We will be inside the studio just due to logistics, but we hope that you will stop by. Please wear your mask and come check us out. We'd love to see you. So other than that, if you have any questions, you can find the show notes for this episode at dramaticknits.com. You can find the video on YouTube, the Ravelry group, and the website. If you are looking for anything Leading Men Fiber Arts, you can find that on our website. We'd love if you join the Leading Men Fiber Arts Ravelry group, follow us on Instagram, and join the Facebook page. Thank you so much for joining me again. Once again, if you're returning and if you're new, I hope you enjoyed what you saw. I am excited to go order some Mexican for takeout for dinner. And after doing show notes and getting this editing, I'm going to sit and relax with Andy on the couch and watch some TV. So I hope you are dealing with COVID appropriately and being safe. And until I see you in about 2 weeks, I hope you make something dramatic.